Welcome to Are We On Topic Yet by the Wild Wonder Collective.
Where faith meets real life and nothing's off limits except perfection.
We're your hosts, Dr. Melody, Mama Viv, and yours truly, Angie K.
We're talking all things ministry, motherhood, marriage, mindset,
and the messy moments in between.
Here, the conversations are real, the grace is deep, and the coffee, well, hopefully it's still hot.
So whether you're driving, multitasking, or hiding in the bathroom for 5 minutes of peace,
grab your pen, grab your journal.
Or let's be honest, your laundry basket, and join the convo.
Let's get into it.
Welcome. We are in season 4 and we are on episode 5. I was looking over to try to find out what episode we are on, and I didn't even have that on my page. So I'm glad for my memory. We are we on topic yet? I am your host, Dr. Melody. We got Angie K, and we got Mama Viv. And guess what, guys? Mama Viv. This is our new symbol, y'all. For y'all who are not...
No, go ahead.
For you guys who are not watching us and only listening, she is doing sign language and she's doing an M&V. And so that's our new symbol.
What I've got to say about that is it comes out backwards because the camera makes it backwards.
So my new name is V Mama.
Clearly.
There we go. Y'all, we have a special guest today. I am so excited.
Yay.
You guys, me and Angie K have actually given her her own name, and we call her TT Mama. Yes. She is somebody we grew up with. She is my mom's first cousin. Their moms were sisters, right? Grandmama and Auntie Auntie Mo. Auntie Mo's like, why is my mind going crazy? Okay. So anyway, her formal name for all the rest of y'all is Apostle Mary Smith. So we are so glad to have her on today. NGK, what are we? Well, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. TT Mama, introduce yourself to the people. Tell them who you are.
Well, I think you've done a very good job. My name is TT Mama. But anyway, for the people here, I'm TT Mama. And then for my beautiful first cousin, I like to call her sister, Ann, Vivica Ann Leander. My sister.
Now they know who I am.
Sister. Yes, I am. She may be Mama Viv to you guys. Name. Yes, but she's always been my sister. And so I am Mary. I was someone's wife for 45 years. I tell you, he's gone home to be with the Lord. I'm somebody's mother, 3 plus 1. Got an opportunity to raise a granddaughter as well and 2 other grandkids. And I am a pastor of the Antioch Church here in Memphis, Tennessee. So I'm sure in the next few minutes, y'all will learn more about us, about me. I said us. It's more, it's a lot of people in here.
I love it.
Yes.
I love
good to be here.
Yes. So Angie K, what are we talking about today? Why did we bring TT Mama, Mary, Apostle Mary on this show today?
We are going to be talking about faith in transition, when life shifts and you no longer feel like who you used to be.
Yes. And for some of you guys, if you did not catch it, she said, I was a wife for 45 years. She was married to our cousin who I love and miss, cousin AD. He was an amazing man of God and one of the only people I have ever known to be able to rattle off the Bible like he is saying he had coffee for breakfast. And so she experienced being able to be married to him unto the end. And so that is some of what she's going to be sharing about holding on to her faith as life transitions. So we're super excited that she's here. And what we're going to cover today, guys, is naming the in-between, when identity shifts, faith without familiar markers, God in the middle of the transition, letting go of who you were, and becoming who you're meant to be. Once again, Angie K has flooded our our topic. So we will see how much of this we can get to.
I give you just enough that that if we get through it all, that's wonderful, and if we don't, we leave people asking, "What's next?" See?
Yeah.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Okay, guys, so let's name the in between, right? Transition can feel so crazy. We're not like who we were, and we're absolutely not who we're becoming, and it's somewhere in the middle. So, how would you name the in between?
The in between.
Yeah, my name for it is God, where are you?
Oh, that's a good name. That's a good name.
I'm gonna tell you, my name is.
You should have actually let out the scream with it. Help! That's the name.
Yes.
I guess my name would be There's a Space. This is what I think for me in life that no one prepares you for. So
Ooh,
unprepared.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's
ooh.
good too.
that's a
Oh my
good
Love
name.
gosh.
I'm gonna
that.
have to
Yeah,
co-sign that
yeah.
one.
Just a
Angie, was
minute. Let
your
me
name?
write that down.
I
No,
know,
go on.
right?
Angie K, was your name the help, or do you have a different name for the in
No, it was
between?
help. It was help.
Yeah.
I know I had thought
I
in
love it.
orbit, but yeah. Okay.
Oh, in
That's
orbit
good
is a good
too.
one too. Yeah, because honestly,
Yeah.
you do feel like you're just kind of
The
floating around
unknown.
somewhere trying
Yeah, in the
trying to
unknown.
piece it all together. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh.
So, let's talk about some of the life transitions and like when our identity shifts. Um, I'm gonna save TT Mama because I know she has a heavy one, a heavy hitter one. I'm going to say mine, which is not so much as one that you would have expected, because I surely didn't. But my in between moment, or one of them, let me say, is when God called me away from my church that I had been to for 20 years. And I went to a new church, and I came in ready to be the melody that had always been there. And yeah, so that didn't happen. God had a whole different plan and threw me into this place of transition where I was having to get to know the real version of me, and it was quite the journey, a rewarding journey nonetheless, but quite the journey. How about some of the rest of you? When did life shift?
I think, well, life is shifting all the time, but when I became a
Yep.
wife, life shifted, and then each time I became a mom again, life shifted. Literally, with each child, life was extremely different. I had to figure out myself all over again. I had to figure out my husband all over again. I had to figure out how our household runs all over again. And it's been wonderful, but it's also been help sometimes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say that probably mine is when I found out that I had to raise 3 to 4 children, basically by myself, and I knew who I was as a Christian. I was always a good Christian worker, but then that helped me to find out who I was as a real person.
That's so good.
Hmm.
Okay. TT Mama, how about yours?
All right. Well, you were talking about naming the in between, and I just told you for me, that name would be unprepared because that was the space between what was and what will be in my life.
Mm,
And so
good.
for 45 years, I was a wife to a wonderful, caring, sensitive, just loving man whose joy was really literally in taking care of me. And we co-pastored a church together for over 40 years. We raised 3 biological children, as well as 1 grandchild. And life was not perfect, y'all, but it was so sweet. It was so secure. It was so shared. And then an annual physical turned into a stage 4 prostate cancer diagnosis. And at that moment, y'all, the ground beneath me, it just shifted. In one conversation, for me, it shifted. I can't speak for him because he remained the same. But for me, that one conversation from that doctor shifted. And then after 3 years, and especially his final 6 months here before he transitioned from earth to glory, I began to transition to something I did not recognize. The in between is that place where I became disoriented because now I'm no longer who I was, but not yet who I'm becoming. I didn't know. So faith and transition I had to begin by naming that space instead of pretending that it didn't exist because my identity really did shift. I had left my mother's house at the age of 19 to marry AD. And so I went from my mama's house to my husband's house. I became somebody's husband. I was somebody's daughter, and then I became somebody's wife. And we co-pastored, we were parents, we were grandparents, and every identity I carried was connected to him. So now that shifts. He's he died. And I found myself so many times asking this question, and I'm sure you guys have too. Who am I now? I'm not anybody's
Yeah.
wife. And when I told some people that, they said, "You're the bride of Christ." Yes, I'm the bride of Christ, but I'm no human person's wife. That's all I've been. I mean, for 45 years, I've been somebody's wife. But now it's me. And so transition exposes whether our faith is rooted in roles or in relationship. And that's where
Mm.
I am. Is it rooted in roles, Mary, or in relationship? That was my
And
shifting. Yes.
Whew.
I know.
So
I
that's
know. It
all I
was
I'm
can
sorry.
goodness.
say.
It was just
Yeah.
so
Whew.
good. No, no, it was just so good.
mm-mm.
It just,
Mhm.
But let me tell you
Yeah.
what I was looking at your questions and I wrote this and I discovered it was your questions were therapy for me too. Thank you. And I discovered that some of my spiritual confidence had leaned on the strength of AD beside me. He had often stepped in always on time. He was always on time. And we hear people singing about Jesus is on time. Well, I didn't have to do that. AD was on time. He would beat Jesus. And I did not realize how much of my sense of stability was anchored in him being there on time. So when my identity shifted, and he wasn't there on time, y'all, my faith had to deepen. Let me stop
Mm.
right there.
That's good.
No, it's so
I'm
it's
just
so
telling you,
good.
that's good. Somebody just, I don't know, I need a fan or something. Call
I'm
for the
sorry.
I
ushers.
think I need some tissue. I
Call.
keep wiping my
Wait,
eyes. I'm like,
wait,
I
okay.
know.
wait a minute. Call for the ushers. I'm going out.
Your questions are deep. Your
Mhm.
questions were deep.
Listen, listen. One of the things I can remember thinking to myself, and I'm saying this as though this was a long time ago, y'all.
Yeah.
Like this identity shift for me is like last year, like this December, I had to cut off my hair. It's all a part of it, right? But I can remember thinking to myself and even saying out loud, if I could just get Melody back, when I get Melody back. And it was like I was
Hmm.
like longing for the days of old. And when I felt like I was, I guess, better or felt more grounded or something. And honestly, I want to say it was cousin Betsy, which all of
Mhm.
us know on here, y'all. And actually, she'll be one of our guests, so y'all will be able to catch her at one point. But she was the one that said, "What if you just let her die?" Right? And find out who you are today. And that really started shifting some things inside of me because I stopped clamoring for yesterday and I started living for today. What about you, TT Mama? How did you kind of shift within yourself to get to the space that you needed to get to?
Well, I had to, first of all, just be real um, with myself that I know we probably haven't gotten there yet, but I think did Angie K write these prompts, these points? But when
She
she
did,
talked
and
about
that's why are we on topic yet? You just go on and talking, and
You
we'll
right, you go anywhere you
piece
need
it
to go.
together.
when she talked
And we just
about
try to hang with.
the markers, how did I shift? I had to stop
Oh yeah,
looking
that's where we
for
are.
I had to stop looking for the markers, you
Mm,
know. I had all these familiar markers for decades. Um, my faith looked like praying together. I had somebody to pray with me every day,
mm,
leading together, deciding things together, standing together. And so after his death, there were no familiar markers. There was no one
mm,
at the breakfast table. There was no one to talk about ministry, what happened, and what we should be doing in ministry. There was no one to cover me when I was tired. And y'all, I have always had a sweet relationship with Jesus, but I learned that sweetness is not the same as maturity.
Whew.
yeah,
That's
come
good.
on. Oh,
Sweetness is
say
not
that one
enough.
again. Come
Sweetness
on.
is, I've always had a sweet. I mean, I've always
Yes.
known who Jesus was. And it
Ooh.
was so sweet when I would talk to him, but sweetness is not the same as maturity.
Mm.
I had to
Mm,
shift my faith had to be matured.
mm,
It had to be
Wow.
matured. Mhm.
I'm gonna chew
And
on that.
so now I don't have the familiar markers, Melody. So now I've got to depend on God. I
Mm.
have started leaning on him. And it was
S-
that space where I knew that, Mary, you're either going to make it or you're not. And I
mm.
had enough faith to decide I'm going to make it. So I've got to grow. And I know that's a lot to say from an apostle, a pastor, that she has to grow in this season.
Yeah, we all do.
Y'all, I
Yep.
had to grow. I had to grow
Mm.
because sometimes I would even get angry with him after he died, saying, how you leave me like this? I was too kept. I was just too, I would say, too kept. I think he decided that he was going to get all these rewards in heaven for keeping me.
He will.
So his crown is full. But
Listen.
He got the bobblehead.
yes, but I had to go through this transition and this shifting. And that's where it was when I had to just face the fact that um, those markers are not there.
Mm,
But there are some that can be put in place. And God
come
wants me
on.
to depend on him. He wants
Wow.
me to lean on him. And it's a blessing to have people in your life that you can depend on. But God wants all of my expectation to be from him. And so I just had to
Yes.
be real with myself. And it wasn't pretty either. Mm-mm.
Wow. Can I say
Yeah.
really quickly, Mel, that that gave a new meaning or a deeper meaning to Jesus take the wheel.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yes, it
Mm.
did. Yes, it did. Go ahead, Angie K.
And I just wanted to comment on the familiar markers as well. So yeah, I mentioned that my transitions or big transitions were wife and motherhood. And when I could not find the
Hmm.
familiar markers, I thought something was wrong with me because I
Yes.
couldn't
Come on.
find what was. And I
Hmm.
would I would cry and I would be like, Lord, I don't understand our prayer time anymore. I don't understand because it's just not the same. You
Hmm.
have a child who at first they're not necessarily just talking to you, but you have to stop and do things for them. You don't
Yes.
have that dedicated time the way that you used to have. And then now I have literally four little people talking to me all day. I'm in a discipleship intensive class and they're like, we want you to pray for 30 minutes focused and uninterrupted. And I get that, but that's not my life. And I'm like trying so hard, but the familiarity of being able to do that is gone for this season, and I
Yeah.
had to have the Lord minister to me and say, it's okay that the things that you used to have, you don't
Yeah.
have them the same way anymore.
Hmm.
That doesn't change the relationship. That doesn't take away the relationship. Matter of fact, it's just helping you to press in more.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. As we're talking about this, um, with UTT Mama, it's like I hear you saying God shifted my dependency, right,
Yeah.
from cousin AD to him. And I want to say that was also what was happening with me, except my dependency wasn't on a person. My dependency was on the achievements and things, the things that I put forward to say, this is who Melody is.
Yeah.
And he took me to a place where none of those things matter. And even when I first introduced myself in that way of I'm Melody and here's all of my accolades, they were like, yeah, that's great. And who are you? And it wasn't in a way to bash who I was or to
Yeah.
demean me in any way, but it was like, who are you past that? Right. And so God began stripping the things that I was dependent on to go before me. And he started putting himself in that place. And I really feel like that kind of takes us into God in the middle of our transitions. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like we've already kind of started talking about how he has
Yes.
been showing up. But
Yeah.
does anybody else have anything they wanted to add on to like how God has really been like showing up in your middle season?
I would just like to say that God surprised me. What surprised me most was God didn't wait until I figured myself out. I'm trying to acknowledge things and figure myself out, y'all. He met me where I was. He met me in that confused state. I could feel him. He met me in that lonely place. He met me in this silent house. And then he began to meet me with all the questions, like you just said, Melody, that, who am I? Who am I supposed to be now? I was almost
Right.
afraid to pray and ask God these things, but I began to do it. He met me in that place. And so I began to see that not only had the Lord been my husband's strength, he is my strength. My husband was one of the strongest people that I've ever known. Even in his passing, I remember the day we left the doctor's office with the diagnosis, and he took me to my most favorite restaurant. He said, "Oh, we're going to celebrate." And I'm like, "What do we have to celebrate?" And we go to Houston's restaurant, and he ordered this full meal. And he said, "Now get your steak." And I ordered that stuff. And it was a lump in my throat. I could not swallow. And he sat across the table and he ate everything. And then he looked at me and he said, "I know you're sad." He said, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to ask God. We're not going to beg God." He said, "We're going to ask him one time, God, if it's your will that he heal my body." He said, "But Mary, I have no problem with dying in the Lord." He said, "My only issue is," and he said, "I'm going to pray for myself that it's no longer an issue because I know you're going to be fine." He said, "But my only issue is because I take care of you and I know it would be hard on you." And so he was so strong. And so, since he was so strong, how dare me to burst out crying and weeping as though I had no hope? I did later by myself, but not in front of him, of course. And so now, though, I began to see after he had passed that the same Lord that gave him all that strength, oh my goodness, he was mine. And so for me, transition does not mean God has stepped away. It often means he is just stepping closer to us. And so he
Yeah.
began to step. I saw him, y'all. I saw God in the middle. One time in the middle of the night, he said, "Mary," he said, "you think your best life is over." And God said, "The best is yet to come." And I was crying. I was saying to
Yeah.
myself, as though God can't hear me, how dare he say the best is yet to come?
Yeah.
I didn't say it out loud.
No, I so relate to that because this is like one of those moments that just stays with me in my journey. I was just feeling so broken and lost and all of that. And I go to my pastor, who is also my spiritual father, because he's teaching this Bible study and it's relating to where I am. And I go up to him and I'm like, "That's me. I'm like basically pleading with him, saying I'm lost, looking for this answer of, oh, this is how we get you back." And he was like,
Yeah.
"That's great, Melody. You're on track." And I really feel like that's how God is responding. Because I was like, "What?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was literally all he had to say about it. There was no, you know what I mean? Here's the trick. It was just, keep going. You're doing great. And I feel like I
Yeah.
literally feel like that's how God is like, yeah, I know this is hard, but don't give up. Keep going. You're
Yeah.
gonna get to see the
Yeah.
beauty if you just hang in there, So
Yes.
That's
Yes.
crazy. I think during my shift, and I always talk about my divorce because I guess that was the biggest craziness
yeah.
in my life. But when I shifted, well, God let me know that I was just not balanced prior
Mhm.
to. I had devoted all my life to Him, which was, that part is wonderful, but I had left out people. I had given
Yeah.
Him, but I had left out people. He says, "You love me well, but my love extends beyond me."
Oh,
It
yeah.
extends to the people also. And
Yeah.
so I want to see you love them the way you have loved me. And he
Hmm.
says, and that's what I want for you. And so that's just kind of hard for me to chew on a little bit because I was enjoying the time of intimacy with him. I would do the work he would give me to do, but it was like, okay, God, here's the glory. You got the glory, or something like that. He says, that's all wonderful. But I want you to be able to really enjoy life as a person, which was very hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Well, I think part of this is as God meets us in the middle, we also have to learn to let go of who we were, right? And we kind of started talking about that a little bit. Some of you guys, if you have been rocking with us for a little while, have seen that my hair is not what it was. And that was the big transition that God was asking me because a lot of my identity was wrapped in my hair. And people would call me the girl with the long hair. And there would be other Black people with long hair too, but that's how they would describe me for whatever reason. I was known for my hair. And when God started talking with me about it, it took me, I think, over a year to actually get to the place where I was willing to let go. But toward the end, that's what he said to me. He said, Melody, I need you to let her go. And
Mm.
that was the symbol, was cutting my hair off and doing something completely different from what I had done. And it he was like, you need to let her go so that the new Melody can really live. And so, yeah, it's a hard step.
Melody, I saw that as what you're saying, and in my life too. We don't realize that there is grief in losing a version of yourself. And so
Yes.
many
Yes.
times we don't go through the steps of grief. We think we need to just get over it, go on. But there is grief in losing a version of yourself. Like there was grief
Mm-hmm.
in me losing AD as a person, but I still had to have grief, get over, go through the grief steps as well in losing that version of myself.
Yeah,
I had to
That's
let
absolutely.
so
go of the
good.
woman who always had someone there, the woman whose husband handled
Yes.
all the crisis, the woman who husband made all the decision, who felt spiritually covered all the time, letting go of all these things. And I had to grieve that. That's a version of myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I
That's
think
so
that's
good.
probably true for all four of us on here in whatever stages, that we've been in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just go
Yeah.
back to
I
what you
agree.
said, Dr. Miller, that cousin Betsy said. Why don't you just let her die? And I just feel like that's
Yes.
so hard sometimes to just
No.
let
Yeah.
the old version of you die. And what's crazy is I feel like I have been a person who has, on my own, caused my own transitions a lot in life. And so when I cause my own transitions, I feel okay with letting that old version die because I'm in
Yeah.
control, right? But when God causes the transitions and I'm not in control and I have to let that person die, not out of my own choice, that's been hard.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
It's like
believe
he
it.
he told me told me to get in the water, jump in, and he says, I want you to drown.
Mm.
Mm.
I was like, ooh, what now?
Yeah.
I,
He
I
said,
want you
what?
to drown. Yeah. And let your newness come up, and what I am bringing you to, and
Mm.
yeah, that wasn't easy. Say, but I jumped in.
Yes.
Thank you,
Well,
God.
let me say that we've gotten very close to getting all the topics covered. Um,
See?
we have about 5 minutes left, and we still need to talk about becoming who you were meant to be, and we also need to give encouragement. So I think that we should like merge them how we normally do. And if you feel like you need to give a little bit more because you're also talking about becoming who you were meant to be in your word of encouragement, feel free to do so. But what do we want to tell the listeners about becoming who you were meant to be while encouraging them?
um, I want to say it's okay to find yourself again and again and again and again. Yeah.
And I'm just going to jump in real quickly and say it's because you're not lost. You're becoming, as Pastor Mary, also Mary, beautiful cousin Mary said, you're becoming, and God is finishing what He started with you. And even in the in between, He is still there. He's finishing it. And I think it's Philippians 1 and 6 where He says, I will complete the work in you. He's going to complete it.
Amen.
Oh, let's see. I guess the only thing I could say right now at the end is if you're in a transition or you're going through something, don't lose faith because faith doesn't disappear just because life shifts, it deepens.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what might God be forming in you doing, this season of transition, you never know. You may not be able to see it, but I just believe that because God is forming it, the best is yet to come.
Yes.
So good. And
Yes.
I will give the last one, and I will say
All
that
right.
you may die 1,000 deaths, but with each death, know that God is with you and you are becoming a better version of yourself every single
Yes.
time. So hang in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're in transition, take heart. Faith does not disappear when life shifts, it deepens. What might God be forming in you during your transition season, even if you can't see it
Yep.
yet? So, guys, we want to hear from you. Let us know about those transitions.
Yes.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and all the good stuff, right? But let us pray with you during those transitions. Drop us a line. So, y'all, this has been an amazing episode, and I
Yes.
am so glad, right, that we
Yes.
had TT Mama here with us, sharing some of her personal, vulnerable times. And guess what, y'all? She just gave us a little secret before she got on this show, and she is in the middle of writing not one, not two, but three books. Three books. And
Whoa.
so, if you want to hear more from her, it is coming, right? And so, Cousin Mary, if you want to give us a little teaser about those books, we'll absolutely take them, but we understand if you can't. But we absolutely want to hear about how to hear from you and any kind of things that you feel like you
Yes.
want to share before we close out.
Well, one of these books I have actually started 6 years ago, and it's called Kitchen Church. And
Ah,
it is talking about my life and how three beautiful women in my life really were the people who helped form the person that you see today. And I thought it would be a great book to get out for Black History Month, but I don't think it's going to get on the shelf for Black History Month. But it will be so revealing, but at the same time, I think it'll be so inspiring to so many people. And I believe that you guys, because you're family, and you're going to hear so much about family in it, that you all would really enjoy the book. And meanwhile, the Lord also gave me a book. I'm doing a sermon series on it now, and I've actually been preaching a chapter every Sunday this year out of this book. So it's called The Burning Oil. And so I
oh,
give you all those
I
two, The
absolutely
Burning
want to read
Oil.
that one. Yes.
I
oh,
know. I want
Okay.
to read both of
absolutely.
them.
The
I do
Burning
too.
Uh-huh.
I do
Oil.
too.
I might send you all some clips of it today. But
Please,
Yes.
please.
Let
yes,
me tell
so
y'all, you guys do not know, but this is a
Powerful,
powerful woman of
powerful.
God.
Yes.
Yeah, of God. Yes,
Powerful
Yes.
woman
yes,
of God.
yes,
And she
yes,
talks
yes,
about the
yes,
three women in her life
yes, yes,
that
yes.
have poured into her. But of course, Mama Viv, that goes without saying. But TT Mama is one of the reasons I am the person I am today and why I
Me too.
operate in the Lord the way I do today. Powerful woman. So if
Me
she's talking
too.
about some anointed oil that don't go out. I
Yes,
absolutely, I
Listen.
absolutely want to get
I'm
that
telling you.
information.
I
Hmm.
am telling you.
Mm.
Definitely.
Yes,
Can't wait.
yes, absolutely.
Yay.
So, let the people know how can they get in contact with you if they want to get in contact with you.
well, you can DM me on Facebook. I'm just under Mary Smith, or you can email me at S1STER@AOL.com. It's like the word sister, but instead of an I, it's a one. S1STER@AOL.com. Love to
All
hear from you
right.
guys.
I think you are
Yes.
the only person I know that still has an AOL account.
Don't start
That's
it.
real. That's
I get shot
Cousin,
down every time I tell somebody that.
real.
cousin, I
I do
do
have
have
two
one.
other email addresses too.
Listen,
That's her
cousin, I do
primary.
have one. I have one. I've tried to shut it down. They won't let me for some
No,
reason.
they won't.
They
You
said we
can't
have to
have me
hold
shut
on.
it
Keeping all
down.
our
Wait,
members.
they said we have to hold on to our last two customers.
Yeah,
No, we keeping all two of you. We keeping all two of you.
that is so
Oh, I
funny.
love that. Yes. Well, it has been an amazing episode. I hope that you are willing to come back because I'm sure we're going to have a space for you. We have enjoyed having you on here.
Yes, we
I've enjoyed
have.
being here with three of my favorite people. And so thank you guys for thinking enough of me to let me sit and chat with you.
Oh,
Oh,
awesome.
thank
Oh,
Well,
you. My
guys,
favorite.
you're some of our favorite people too. And so we just wanted to say
Yeah.
bye to you
wait,
guys.
wait, wait, wait. You didn't
Oh,
even tell
I'm
them.
sorry. I didn't. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
you didn't tell
Angie
them.
K. What's coming next?
All right. So next week, we're going to talk about generational faith. And I think that's going to be a really cool episode.
Oh, wow.
Let me tell y'all, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. I told y'all Angie K was coming with them hard hitters. So until next time, guys, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
That's another episode of Are We on Topic Yet from the Wild Wonder Collective.
If today made you laugh or feel a little more seen,
Go ahead and hit subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave us a review.